Hey guys, so it has become obvious, very obvious, that there's not much honor among our honorable lawmakers in Nigeria, seeing as they suspended a female senator who accused the Senate president of sexual harassment and abuse of power. Please watch this video till the end because I strongly believe that they are trying to distract us and shift our attention away from something that is very important. By the way, she submitted a petition to the Senate in regards to this. The Senate Committee on Ethics said that the petition was dead on arrival because she signed the petition.
The petition she presented today is actually dead on arrival. No senator may present to the Senate a petition signed by him or herself.
And just like that, without doing any investigation on her allegations, they threw it out the window. And the very next day, the same Senate president accused of harassing her was the one that pronounced her suspension for 6 months. 6 months. Not just that, by the way, no salary or allowances in that 6 months, even though every senator that has ever been suspended in the past received their salary. They are also locking up her office. She's not allowed to be seen anywhere near the National Assembly in that 6 months. They are taking away her security details, and because they are also taking away all properties that she received upon becoming a lawmaker, I'm guessing they are taking away her official vehicles as well, and so on and so forth. And on top of all of that, they say that she's not allowed to introduce herself as a senator anywhere in the world for the next 6 months. Wow, guys, you cannot make this up. First of all, guys, in a sane country, this Senate president will step down pending investigation on such a case. No be so, but again, this is Nigeria, where the accused is also the judge and jury over his own case. Now, whether you believe Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan or not, I hope that you guys paid attention to what Senator Akpabio did on the day that she was suspended. Before I played the video, I was shocked that no lawmaker challenged the notion to suspend Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan, not even the female lawmakers.
That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan for 6 months for a total violation of the Senate Standing Rules 2023. Those in support of prayer will say aye. Aye. Those against say nay.
I truly believe that not all of them are for the suspension, but not one person was bold enough to stand against the Senate president. That's sad. That's really sad, and that says a lot about our National Assembly. I do not think that we have any independent mind amongst them. I mean, it's like a court. They all have to sleep and face one direction. I don't think we have anybody that can challenge the leadership of the Senate, even though they are supposed to be colleagues. Have you guys seen how senators in other African countries relate? How they would debate back and forth on pressing issues? Not this one, so they have no lever. And if one of them tries to find his or her voice, they try to shut it down. This is not the first time. We have other examples, but we don't have time today. So let's watch that video. Let's see what Akpabio did that day. After he said that the suspended senator must write an apology letter before they would reinstate her, he then acted like he had a hearing problem.
For the Senate to consider lifting this suspension or reducing the tenure of the suspension, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan shall submit a written apology to the Senate before any reconsideration by the Nigerian Senate. Those in support of prayer to say aye. Those against say nay. I don't think, as a landlord of the Senate, I don't think they heard what I read. So let me just repeat for clarity. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan shall submit a written apology to the Senate before the reconsideration by the Senate. Those in support of prayer to say aye. Those against say nay. I thought I heard 50-50. Let me make it 40-60. That for the Senate to consider lifting the suspension or reducing the tenure of suspension, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan shall submit a written apology to the Senate before any reconsideration of this case by the Senate. Those in support of prayer to say aye. Those against say nay. Nay. The ayes have it.
If that is not abuse of power, I don't know what that is. Was it only me or those against the motion were more than those in favor. Yet, on camera, he said the ayes have it. If he would do this on camera as Omo, now we know why she also petitioned the Senate over Akpabio's abuse of power. So not just sexual harassment. Now, the important thing is, I believe that these men have successfully diverted our attention away from what Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan is actually fighting for. Let's not forget that the genesis of this drama is that Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan said that the Senate President had been ignoring a motion that she was trying to push for months, for several months, which is to investigate corruption at the Ajaokuta Steel company and whatever is preventing it from operating. The very first time that many Nigerians got to know about Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, by the way, was 7 years ago when she approached the Senate on the urgency of getting the steel company in Ajaokuta on its feet. She wasn't even holding any public office at the time. So that's just to show you how important Ajaokuta Steel is to her. And it's not just because it will provide employment opportunity for 10,000 people whenever they launch, and eventually 500,000 people, or 500,000 people, but she's also advocating because it will give us a strong foundation for infrastructural development in Nigeria, because steel is a crucial material for building bridges, high-rise buildings, railways, and other large-scale structures, which will seriously boost our economy and industrial capacity and increase our export opportunities if we produce more steel than we need. This woman is trying so hard to get Ajaokuta Steel Company to work. If you don't know what that is, if you're not Nigerian, it is the biggest elephant project that we have in Nigeria, located on 59,300 acres of land, almost the size of Maldives Island in the Indian Ocean, which includes 800-acre plant and a town comprising of 10,000 houses, a hospital, and a school. At least 4,000 of those houses have been completed. It has 75 miles of internal roads and railroads, including the school, the library, the hospital for workers and their families, largely unused. Do you know that the clearance that was meant to store coal for the furnace is now being used as a cattle graze? This thing has been sitting there for 4 decades, guys, since it was built. The 1,500 people that are working there right now are there primarily to keep parts of the plant in serviceable condition. That is all they do. It is Nigeria's $8 billion steel plant that has never produced steel. This is not the first time that this woman would move a motion to investigate alleged corruption that is preventing this company from operating, millions of dollars being siphoned in the name of trying to get it back on its feet. And she's calling for investigations. This headline that you are seeing on the screen is from February 2024. She's been shouting for a long time. But according to her, the Senate President is not interested. And this is one of the reasons why her people voted for her. She promised that she would do everything in her power to get this steel company to work. And she's trying to do that. And somebody is allegedly saying that she has to have an affair with him before they will take it up.
I wanted to move a motion for the investigation on the ills of corrupt practice in Ajaokuta Steel Company. I listed that motion 5 times. It was the 6th time that it was listed on the other paper that was approved. Many senators can testify to that. Each time the motion is listed, just before he takes it, he will say, "Oh, Senator Natasha, we can't take this motion because the board of the Senate does not accommodate it." Or he will speak on others and then let it drag so that just before that motion is taken, the time will be well spent. So he kept on doing that. I went to him in his office. You know how important it is to my people and to Nigerians. I've noticed that you have stepped down this motion. As a matter of fact, a number of senators told me, go and see him and plead with him so that he would take it. I was like, "Sir, please, why can't you take this motion? It's very important." He then said, "Natasha, I'm the chief presiding officer of the Senate. You can enjoy a whole lot if you take care of me, make me happy."
And according to her, even her husband went to London to speak with the Senate President to take this motion just so that Ajaokuta Steel Company can work. No, the Senate President is purposely ignoring something that is very, very important. And these are the allegations that this woman brought before the Senate. And they decided to suspend her for 6 months. I mean, after seeing how he lied publicly, I can definitely see how he would act like he wasn't hearing her or he didn't know about the motion, and how he would ignore that motion. You would think they will all be passionate about this Ajaokuta Steel company. And now that they have suspended her, who else is fighting for this steel company to work? They are not interested in getting it to work. Why oppose someone that is trying to get it to work? In the midst of all that, she's also executed several developmental projects in her constituency, way more than what the Senate president is doing in his own constituency. She's putting them to shame. She's exposing what is possible with the money that they are getting, and they are not using it for the development of their constituencies. But like she said, this injustice will not be sustained. Now the question is, does this mean that another 6 months will go by with no progress at the Ajaokuta Steel Company? I mean, that's exactly why it has been 4 decades, 40 years, that this steel company is just sitting there. And the whole of Kogi Central has just been silenced. They basically just suspended you by suspending your representative. What will you do about it? Above all, we desperately need more women at the Senate, now more than ever. And we're not talking about women who think that silence is good. I'm talking about women that will stand up for their rights. The only qualification is secondary school certificate, guys. Women, we need you. Your country needs you. Auntie Aisha Yusufu, yes, I am watching you on my plasma TV. When will you run? Your country needs you. Auntie Bukisho Nibare, yes, so bring back our girls. Auntie Bukola, this is when you will declare before election comes. Hey, yeah, Mama P on Instagram. Oh, shit. Hey. If you are not following this woman on Instagram, by the way, you are missing out big time. Go and follow her on Instagram. You will know why we need her at that Senate. My sister, you have to join a party now or form your own party. All of you, go and form your own party. Your country needs you by fire, by force. You guys have to run. And Auntie Uduaghan, we are also watching you. You need to be getting ready. Dear. Auntie Adenike Oyetunde, we know you are serving Lagos State, but you can also be a senator. I'm very sure that there are so many others that I need to call out. I beg, no disrespect. It's just that it's not coming to me right now. Please don't be offended. Guys, write their names in the comment section. Just imagine if we have these women at the Senate along with Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Ooh, fantastic. Ooh, hey.